Mr. Speaker, it's now July 9th. This is the latest that the legislature has ever delivered a final budget in your tenure as Speaker here. Why is it taking so long this session? This, especially given the fact that revenues are not so challenging as they have been in years past.
That's one of the things that, quite frankly, I'm very concerned about in terms of the is concerned about. And one of the things
I don't think it's a Winthrop constituent.
Wouldn't dare be.
And having said that, one of the ideas which I had expressed today was the fact I'm looking possibly to us dividing the budget, if you will, in terms of taking the so-called budget end of it, the policy end of it, dividing the two, and trying to get the budget component of it done. Look, I'm of the opinion that we owe it to our constituents. It's going on. It's getting later and later. It's imperative that we do a budget, and we do a budget immediately. And I think that if we take up the so-called money portion, which is what a budget is all about, take that up now. Then we can always go back in the final weeks of session and talk about some of the policy matters as well.
Does that mean that immigration, among other policy issues, is really the sticking point in these negotiations?
That means that all policy issues would be part of a separate and distinct exercise, if you will. Look, we've done it in other things where we've reported out items in part, and I'm saying that, suggesting that we have to do that right now. Doesn't help our stabilization fund, doesn't help our bond rating in terms of where we're going right now. So we've got to do something, and what I'm saying is right now, we do a budget, we do it as fast as we can. We try to come up with a figure that I think is a lot easier than trying to resolve policy matters. Take that figure and present it to the House, present it to the Senate, and on to the governor's desk so that we can get a budget done now and get it done as early as possible.
Madam President, what do you think about that approach?
I'm in agreement with the Speaker on this. I think we have to have them sit down and meet with each other and get this resolved as quickly as possible.
Do you agree to strip the policy from the budget? The way
I
the
think
Speaker
we
suggested?
I think this is a starting point for us, and if we can get started with this, I personally feel that once we get started and get some movement, I think we probably can get through more than just the revenue piece, but we'll see. We'll see where we are.
Started with
Thank you.
compromise?
When you say get started, have talks broken down?
No,
No,
not at all.
not at all.
No.
But
So-
we need to get moving and
How
move to
quickly would
completion.
would you be talking about moving out a partial budget or a separated budget? I mean, are we talking within hours, within days, or we're talking?
Oh, I'd like to see it as soon as possible, but I feel that if you can come up with a so-called figure in terms of what exactly the amount is that the Massachusetts needs to operate on, we'll say for the next fiscal year, then I think a lot of things will fall in place. What I'm concerned about is the fact that I don't want to see it happen where we're having folks that rely upon us, for income, whether it be the disabled, whether it be education, whether it be transportation, no matter what it may be. Okay, these folks are putting together their budgets right now. They have to have an idea of what they're going to need to operate in fiscal year 19. So that's what a budget is all about. It's a budget. It's a budget in terms of, how are you going to operate for the next year. And the later that this goes on, it's not fair to our constituents. It's not fair for these various agencies. And, it's not fair for the people who rely on government, in terms of their survival.
Thanks, everyone.
Governor, you
Can I ask
you
you about
suggested
the
this.
medical examiner's office?